I'm taking a private video right now because I want to document. I was spending time with Vaughn, aka LaVon Johnson, my significant other, or also known as my boyfriend. Something flared up, an altercation, and so I called him out of his name. I believe I called him a bitch. He proceeded to go straight to his default mode, and he commonly does this while at my place. This happened before, and he begins snatching things up and packing. He has taken things he shouldn't have taken when he was packing during a conflict, or just taking things that I didn't want taken. But in the moment, I'm focused on I have learned as our relationship has progressed over time, that when whatever may ever occur, the moment a conflict arises, that is not a time to pack or try to depart, which I know and understand. It is an automatic human nature for either one of us to want to flee, if a certain line is crossed. I know, and I can reflect in awareness that I have literally been there, specifically with Vaughn myself, and just remembering and being that he would protest, because in that moment, trust measures are down. Conflict is occurring, and so safety between him and I, and during conflict, there's not an understanding or establishment of safety. We haven't found that yet, or just reach the level to where we're that deeply committed to where we literally will give that to each other. I'm just seeing my fucking eyelashes in the video, and I'm just fuck it, I take it all off, fuck it. I've been wearing them long enough. Anyway, so I guess the relationship hasn't grown and matured enough to that level to where I want to say, I don't think us individually, I think legitimately just our relationship hasn't matured enough to where either one of us feel safe enough, just, I don't know, to allow conflict to occur without proceeding towards flee, and when we do that, essentially that literally creates and confirms and locks in reason for distrust, and also mishaps or mess ups, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, one of us slipping or just whatever. Generally, somebody taking something the fuck they shouldn't have taken, or whatever the fuck it is, okay? Or even just the other person not being able to put it at ease, did you take something you shouldn't have taken? And for there to be any safety in a relationship, like a true healthy relationship, that needs to be in place, But at the same time, nobody wants to be or feel like a prisoner, because we have our independent fucking rights, So this really does present a very extreme, and because I'm neurodivergent and ADHD, I think extreme, I think it's severe, because it's not petty though. It brings a fucking real fucking dilemma. to where, like, often many couples, especially like Lavon and I, it literally can like cause like the break of the relationship. Generally with us, it's like almost an automatic result to where one or both of us will just go in the direction of like breakup. Me specifically, I'm giving myself a second because I have to take a breath to just maintain in my mind, not in my emotions, while talking about this. But like me specifically, I've like intellectually learned, and also I happen to agree with the notion and the concept that during conflict, which, you know, this is where hypocrisy is going to come into place, because I've been the one wanting to flee and leave and depart. So, like, that's where I'm seeking safety, you know? Like, I want to fucking get the fuck away from the problem. And if, for whatever the fuck it is, he's the problem, I want away from it, you know? So I'm going to go back to talking about this. Anyway, so I'm just going to talk about this time. Because even though he was the one fleeing and leaving, I really truly genuinely 100% feel very mentally, emotionally, as well as physically damaged. I really am connected with the fact that like it was traumatic, which I have learned and discovered like a really great way to define traumatic. In other words, trauma is an overwhelming situation or incident, experience, etc. You know? Overwhelming, like more than what one can handle. But so Brian, like for me specifically, one thing that I really suffer from, and I suffer, like, you know, is the cause of suffering for me specifically, is what I've recognized and discovered is desertion during conflict in a couple. Like, and that is an extreme form of betrayal. And so now that it's post-conflict, and I'm alone after the fact, so I'm sitting here in trying to process the betrayal. The how he chose to deal with the disagreement, or even like, I guess from his point of view, he you know, the offense, you know, committed by me, just like it created such a severe snowball effect to where it became like an avalanche. And I literally was at the point where I was doing what's called, and I guess known, I believe, for my best like intelligence and mentally working with it, what would be recognized as protest behaviors. Because I was literally protesting, like I was like it was initially began coming out as like demands. Okay, I was making demands. As I was growing more desperate, it was getting more severe, you know. And so like the behaviors, you know, it was manifesting like, I guess likely from him, like I would think like it was probably looking like rage, you know. To be very, very honest, which I don't really fully 100% know how to understand the psychology behind it yet, but it was extreme, desperate attempts and cries and pleas. I was making pleas, like I was begging him, like not to like to stop, not to proceed, and to stop and and it like I would like beg, like, it was, but it was not coming out like crying or it was coming out more. I mean, it just wasn't coming out like tears. I was, I don't know, like I feel like I was crying. Like I really feel like I was crying. I probably wasn't actually literally crying. That's why it's hard to understand. But like, and he like, and so I continued like calling names because I went into a full-blown episode at that point. I was consciously aware during it. I didn't like black out, but it was like, well, yeah, it was like, revisiting it, like remembering and kind of mentally going back into that moment, like I only had so much control, and like I was begging, and my begging was even coming out like as like further, I guess, attacks, like with the name calling. It just got like worse, like severely, to where I was just like almost like a machine gun with the name calling. And it, like, which is bad. It's bad, it's bad. I'm not in any way justifying any single thing I've done at all, because like I would think like if I was on the other end, like I would fucking find that wrong, So, I'm just like, like it was there. There was no right for me, regardless. Okay, so that's just how it came out, unfortunately. But it wasn't recognized or understood for what it actually was, which that's where, like, how could it be, I guess. But I was really begging, pleading, like, stop, don't do this, He kept throwing things at my head and my face. He's done that before. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, trust me. Like, I get it. Like, even from his point of view, if I made a decision that I don't like this because I don't like the way whatever. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. I'm not okay with it. Whatever. And I'm intolerant to it. If and when you do it, like fucking game's over. Like I get it, really, because like I'm literally thinking and feeling exactly that about like literally about like the fucking dark shit at my fucking face, and it's like this is coming from my point of view alone. So it's like where I'm severing, like right now I'm like intentionally like disconnecting from like how he felt about it, in the moment. That's your woman nature, okay? Like, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But as far as I know, I'm in my woman nature. And it's like, in that moment, then even now, I'm just like, I really feel strongly like it is an acceptable expectation of a woman and for a woman, like to expect like a man to be able to like maintain his emotions in that, like in a moment of a conflict or situation or whatever, without like lashing out, which I guess was what I was doing, but like to where like he could like not be reactive, but like and lashing out, but he was, which just fueled it worse. Like as his responses / reactions to me progressed, mine were progressing and growing, getting bigger, worse, At some point, like I hit him like on his arm, And he ended up like punching me, look at my face, you know? And I just a minute ago, I feel like my face right where he punched me. And it's like, I right now, I'm even like, feel like, I have no right to even like be sad or like think I feel like it was wrong. Cause like I hit him in his arm, but like I'm a woman, I'm not a man. And I know it's like a lot of people think if you're gonna hit a man like you're a man, you're gonna get whatever. And it's so like double standard, not fair, whatever the fuck it is. But like that's fucking goddamn life. Double standard, not fair. You know, like a woman and a man are not the fucking goddamn same. The fuck at all. Like, so like, this we're to each his own. You know, to each his own. But like, and I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay because it's not okay. You know. But like, if a woman, whatever the fuck goes on, where like a woman hits a man or whatever, it doesn't deserve a hit like a hit back. Usually, generally, like, and I'm disconnected with me. This is where the logic in a woman is, you know, because like a man should be able to like not need to hit the woman back. Ideally, and realize like the opposite, you know, hug her, calm her, soothe her. What? I mean, like an evolved man who is matured in his mind and his emotions should know and realize that. Whatever has brought her to that point is extreme and severe, you know. And she's totally lost control of herself in that situation. Because like anyone would have a brain is to know like I cannot take him, you know. But it's like logic and reason has went offline at that point, you know, the executive functioning or whatever, you know. So that's when she really, really, truly needs him to be like the bigger man, which is the man, you know, but like the bigger person in the situation realizes the fuck is going on. Because of being like, fuck out of your goddamn feelings. Get the fuck out of your feelings. You know, like realize what the motherfucker is going on. But get out of your fucking sensitivity bullshit. Be mature enough to realize, like, my woman, I have, whatever the fuck it is, like, I have chosen to take it in a direction that is, got her in a state, whatever, fight or flight, you know, fight or flight, just poor management as a man, like, and, anyway, so, you can't really see it, but I can feel it. It'll go down in a couple of days or maybe a day. I don't know. It's not gonna bruise. I guess I could understand and respect like people gotta stick to their principles. Like okay, fine. But like if you're, I don't know. That's where it's really like. That's where it really, really comes, like, to each his own, you know? This is where it really, really comes to, like, the individual. But it's like, if your principles, you gotta, like, as life progresses, you will have to readjust. And it's like, if you truly, truly love somebody, you truly, truly love somebody, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's when true, genuine commitment to loving the person shows up, then yes, you know, like as a hypothetical example, it is typically, normally, like my principle, you know, like not to tolerate a man that hits me at all in any way, shape, or form, like the fuck at all, you know, it's like it's unacceptable. It's a socially unacceptable thing. But then when it just comes to like to any woman, like no woman is actually gonna find that like appropriate, acceptable. You know what I mean? That's a fucking no. You know, period. We're just using that as an example of, you know, principle. Just like his is, don't call me names. Whatever the fuck your rule is, don't do this. If you break the fucking rule, game over, right? But then when you truly, truly, truly have gone all in, I guess all in, where you're fully committed to loving the person, you might ever find the time or the day where that fucking principle, the fuck, is violated. Period. But even in the fucking face of that moment where the principle is the fuck violated and just fucking steamrolled over, like, your love for that person doesn't go offline, you know? And you might still actually have that principle and, really not have comfort with the fact that, like, the principle was fucking goddamn violated, But in that moment, like, your love for the person is able to actually, like, stand ruling over everything else, rather than like allowing it to grow or get worse, whatever. You're able to be mature enough in your mind, your heart, measured and mastered your fucking emotional fucking, composure to where you can realize, yes, there might ever be a very specific situation where, like, a man hitting me is fucking no-go. 0 times. Then go, But it's like, there might never be, like, a circumstance or a situation where it's, like, forgivable. Whatever. I don't know, just off the top of my head, like, right now, where it's, like, he's going into a seizure, but, like, right in the moment before the seizure, like, his brain disconnects from, like, full awareness of what the fuck is going on. He doesn't recognize who I am, hauls up, shocks me, then goes in to see. I don't know, it's like a situation where I can be like, okay, like, he wasn't fully 100% fucking present with what the fuck entirely was going on, or just wasn't in full control. And it's like, maybe that's, like, extreme. Because, like, when we're standing up and finally talking, like, we think, like, everything is there upstairs, everything's there. But it's like, when you have, like, severely damaged people, like, traumatized people, everything up there is not going the fuck correctly upstairs, And so, like, when a person is reactive, especially, like, a woman, it's coming from a place of hurt, it's coming from a place of fear, and she's not fully in control anymore. It's sort of like that takes over. And so it's like, in order to keep her safe and truly love her, number one, like, you have to have that education, that knowledge, and that awareness. Like, I have a quote-unquote damaged woman who has been traumatized. So if her trauma, whatever, is triggered, especially, like, by the man, like, realize I have triggered my sweetheart's fucking trauma. Now I'm dealing with her trauma response, which is not fully her. Yes, it's coming from her, but it's a response to trauma, So it's sort of like the automated system, it's almost like, and to get her, to bring her back, I need to, like, respond appropriately, aka accordingly. That's where you have to get very specifically unique to that individual person to, like, their best response, to what works for them. But, and I understand, like, the same thing I'm saying right now, like, if the roles are reversed, but it's like, this is not the nature of a woman. And this is like, I'm sorry, this is where I'm at right now. I don't feel like this is a responsibility that a woman should ever have to take on for a man. It's not necessarily like a fair responsibility for a man to have to or willingly take on for, a responsibility a man to take on for a woman. But, like, I could make more sense of it, even though, obviously, because I'm in that position. But, like, for a man to actually lead well and manage the relationship well, especially if he knowingly, willingly got into a relationship with a damaged woman, knowingly, willingly got traumatized, whatever the fuck, and then knowing she was traumatized, and then made the fucking decision to get in, then I feel like there is a moral obligation on him to have, like, qualifications. I guess, which obviously means that he can actually handle and manage like a episode. I don't know what else to call it. Well and efficiently without causing or bringing or like keeping her locked in a state of trauma or damage. But however, the opposite, as opposed to being further traumatic to her, do the opposite, like give her the love that she needs, or whatever the fuck it is that she needs when that part of her psyche is awakened and shows the fuck up, taking over, like respond to that specific fucking need immediately, promptly, and proficiently, properly. Unfortunately, like Vaughn lacks the capacity. Because he lacks the capacity, he completely is devoid of any ability to. I believe that he is fully ignorant to any knowledge or awareness due to like his immaturity levels. Like he just doesn't have the maturity bandwidth, to be able to figure that the fuck out and know to like gain the knowledge and awareness and whatever, so that he can be less dysfunctional himself, let alone manage the relationship, specifically with wherever concerned with care of and for his woman. Sorry, this maybe is, I guess, very biased. It's coming from the mind of a woman, which is probably like what men scrutinize severely, but like, I can't help but automatically blame, like the man in this situation, like mine, aka Vaughn, for like all this went down like this because of him and his like gross mismanagement of the relationship, specifically conflict that ever arises in the relationship. And one thing why I'm getting this making documentation intentionally is because it's for me in the long run, so I can memoirs, whatever. Sadly, this is where a lot of like social fucking scrutiny and criticism falls upon women, because it's like, choose better dudes, and when you find yourself in the face of this moment, this realization, realize, like, and be honest with yourself. Realize where the fuck you are. Connect with it. What are you experiencing? Realize your reality and what the fuck it is, and that it's not good for you. So this is where you woman, you have to be the fucking goddamn adult, which is what sucks for women so much, so often, but it's also a beautiful gift. And like, realize, like, he does not have what it takes to love me well or to love me right. Not necessarily like he just can't fucking just handle my trauma, but like also literally he cannot handle my trauma to where he can handle it maturely, to where it doesn't have to be this, Some guys, if it's already there, literally make it fucking severely worse. I imagine women do that to men also, because people are just affected by life and life experiences and who they share their life experiences with. But very specifically, like, guys make it worse, because like real fucking talk, guys are fucking ruining women out there. I don't know. I guess it's speculated, like, women are fucking ruining men. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever the fuck it is, okay? I'm a woman, so I'm going to connect with relating with women because it's the fuck I am, okay? So I'm just going to speak from that point of view, period. But it's, yeah, especially in modern days, like, there's so fucking many, like, just under fucking developed men, things with penises wanting to fucking walk around and call themselves men. But, like, have not developed the respect from women. Women probably lack the ability to, like, actually, legitimately, like, reach the level of respect that a man actually fucking wants. Because you don't live in a realistic fucking world anymore, bro. Okay? Because, like, we're not on that level any fucking more. Like, you know, but then I guess, like, do it on a reverse card. Like, women want a level of respect. I don't even think respect. Special privileges, etc. But, like, we don't live in that world anymore, you know? Because, like, now women get to be so fucking goddamn independent that's, like, they don't really have an obligation or duty. And just now gets to be, like, a lot of a freedom of choice, you know? Which is cool. It's the result of the revolution, blah, blah. But, I mean, like, that's where it boils down to, like, to each his own. That's where it's, like, you really got to be very careful to negotiate, like, because what the fuck better go on in my, you got to negotiate what the fuck should go on in the relationship. I really feel, because I'm a Capricorn, and I really feel like, yes, you have to actually negotiate it. You actually have to specifically discuss it, specifically, like, agree to it, like, maybe not in writing a sign on a dotted line, but, like, have to, like, to a reasonable degree, like, verbally contract that the fuck in, you know, to where you hold a fucking joint understanding in agreement to it, meaning, like, you gotta see eye to eye on some shit, you know? And I guess that comes to core values. You know, like, core values. Which, you know, because, like, me, the way I think it goes, like, moral code, you know, which there could be, like, differences or whatever the fuck, but it could still work. Pillars of principles, they gotta be able to line up reasonably fucking without toppling each other or whatever, like, being problems to each other. They gotta be able to fucking coexist together, you know? But, like, core values, if there is any fucking bit of, like, a disagreement or, like, conflict in it, like, that is a setup for, like, annihilation. Like, I don't know how it could possibly fucking, like, exist or, like, be there. Like, it makes it impossible. There won't be a possibility to fuck it all. If, like, if my value, one of my core values is, like, under no circumstances is it ever, like, really fucking acceptable to fuck it all for a man to hit me. The fuck it all. Whether I hit him or not. And that's not changing. Then the only, like, actually compatible man for me would actually have to hold that same value. You know? To where he would have to have locked in, you know, on that he would have to find it where under no circumstances is it ever acceptable, or where, you know, he would ever actually resort to, like, where the fuck hitting me, or, you know, the woman did not go there, you know, but that even where he would even find it, like, intolerable, you know, within himself, you know, to where just he won't do it, he won't, like, you know, as just a hypothetical example. What, like, I'm just using that as an example, but, like, really, what I'm really focused on was, like, the biggest betrayal was, like, the desertion during a conflict, or, like, if a conflict arises, to, like, leave. And just, okay, like, I'm realizing, like, double standards, you know, because Ron constantly brings it up. Well, I'm so fucking sorry. Here's some fucking goddamn, the cold hard truth that you have not come to terms with yet. There are double standards, okay? Like, in life, with, you know, men can do it, but women can't. Women can do it, but men can't. You know, you can do it, but I can't. Whatever. It's a double standard. One-sided type shit. But it's like, men and women are not the fucking same. They're not. They are the same. In other words, equal in human form. Like, you're human, I'm a human being. Like, and, like, in the sense of, like, we should have the same measure of value. Like, you're a valuable person in this relationship, as am I, because I am a participant in the relationship. There are two people in the relationship. We both hold the same fucking level of value in the relationship, period. Like, however, when it really, really gets down to it, generally, like, they don't actually hold the same value because somebody values the other more than some. I mean, whatever. That's with the leverage. And usually it, more often than not, it comes down to, like, the man values the woman more. And really, because the woman has more optionality. Woman has more choices. More to choose from than man. You know, that's one of the things that is at her fucking benefit. That is not, you know, the statistics and the odds and whatever, they're in her favor, not his. That's just, like, I didn't make it up. That's, you know, but I am a woman. And I mean, it's true. Like, if I really had, like, very little, you know, make yourself get happy with the one you get, you know? But, like, when it really, really boils into, like, from a man's point of view, if you're, like, really, really not that happy, like, some dudes will just stay miserable with a chick just because, like, he's probably not going to be able to get it, whatever. But some dudes will just be like, fuck, I'd rather just be alone forever than with the motherfucker that makes me miserable, you know? And so it comes to the choice of, like, whether it's, like, choosing another motherfucker, you know? Women get that. Like, women choose a different fucking man. You know what I mean? That dude's not the right one. Be alone for a little while, get a different guy. That's not really, like, fucking, you know, one of, like, not what's really actually available to men. You know, like, look, don't have her. Pretty much. Be with her and, like, fucking, if she just makes you miserable, be miserable. Or, like, fucking don't have her and don't have a woman. That's, you know, which, unfairness of life, but it's, you know, life ain't fucking fair. But, like, because the unfairness of life for women, like, we have to fucking puffer through so much garbage in terms of, like, men, like, to find a fucking worthwhile one, you know? I'm feeling exhausted now already on this rant. So I'm just gonna stop here and now, like, but, so this is, I'm not gonna say, like, this is so often or so regular routine, like, this is the daily, but this does actually happen very often, to where this is commonly, like, what is actually weighing my tiny frame the fuck down is I have to process this shit. And I don't have to be very honest and truthful. I don't have to. Because if I'm being honest with myself, that is, like, self-imposed fucking misery. Because I'm grown, I'm 40 years old, I'm an adult, I can hear myself talking, and I'm aware, and I got that beautiful thing of, like, freedom of choice, and I do have my freedom and my independence where I could choose, and if I have to be grown enough to just be like, this is not good for me, and this guy's not good for me, and wise enough and enough self-love to not fuck with a dude that's not good for me, you know, just free myself of that burden. But, so these are the decisions women have to be faced with, and often, like, we're weak, I guess, mentally, emotionally, to where to be honest, like, we women, only, like, generally, like, only through experiences like this, we have to become so jaded to where we can actually obtain and acquire and develop and strengthen our capacity, and then that can progress onto our ability, and then our usual, you know, intolerance and our decision to not fucking tolerate it, which means we have to be hurt so bad that we have to get hard so that we can be hard enough to get the fuck out of bad situations like that quick without it really being damn near life exhausting. You know, it's just... So, I don't know if you could read it in my face or just whatever, but I've been telling myself for a while, it's character building, going through this character building, which I believe it actually generally is, actually. But, like, right now, in this exact moment, like, in order to build this stronger character, like, I have to be more jaded, which means I have to let a lot of, like, my womanhood, the nature and the essence of my womanhood die, and then harden, so that I can have the self-respect and the self-love to grow intolerant to this. So I'm gonna very much, honestly, truly, like, trust me, like I have to, I already am, and I know I will be having a lot of internal, mental, and emotional, like, talks and, like, back and forth. I will go back and forth with myself a good amount, like, really tearing myself apart about, like, you know, where I fucked up or whatever the fuck it is in this. But, like, motherfuckers like LaVon Johnson, you should be the fuck ashamed of yourself. You really should be. I genuinely hope you are. And I hope that I'm actually able to muster up and actually find and feed myself internally with my mental and emotional to where I can really grow, harvest and grow capacity and ability, and actually, like, to where, like, I truly, truly hope that, like, I'm able to, like, have no regret, no remorse, no care, no concern, no compassion, no empathy, no sympathy, no give the fuck a goddamn with regard to how you think or feel or whatever the fuck it is. Because, like, once you hit that level, like, do not pet go, do not collect $200, like, go fuck yourself. And, like, I don't give a fuck. Want to be able to I hope I will be able to compartmentalize, like, so much to where I can put you in a mental and emotional box and everything the fuck that could possibly go with it and just throw you over like a mental fucking cliff, and, like, you just don't exist to me the fuck no more, and I could just literally, in my neurodivergence, like, to forget, like, you entirely. And then almost, like, you know, eternal sunshine of the spotless mind or whatever the fuck, you know, like, just forget you, erase you from, you know, that's all. I'm just, like, weird, awkward place to abruptly stop. Thanks for listening and watching, and I appreciate your time. And if you have connected with me and my experience at all, I really appreciate the support. You know, I feel very alone right now.